Jesus went to the cross just to be in relationship with me. That is wild, wild, and so beautiful. And that's the type of God that I want to get to know. Like, that draws me closer to him.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like if I had to fix everything, I'd probably feel like he's kind of my boss. So I was trying to get everything right for him, or like make sure everything was fine. But when it's so relational of, I'm coming to him exactly as I am, and not be like, I'll wait 3 Sundays for the altar call so I can make sure that my finances are right first, or I'm going to wait, a month until that next church event, and then I'll give my life in that moment because I have to sort things out. It's like anytime, anywhere, it's accessible. Because
welcome back to another episode of the Everyday Joy podcast. I'm your host, Ash Couchman, and I cannot wait to find moments of joy with you today. I am so excited to be diving into the Word of God together today. Let's jump into the conversation. Kate, not Westwood.
No.
Kate Wilcox, welcome to the podcast. Now, the last time, so this is so funny, the last time you and the other Kate were on, probably, I think you were back to back. I think it was Kate. Well, no, that's you. Kate Westwood, and then it was you. And I don't know how I managed to do this, but in every episode, I put the wrong name. So I wrote your name on all of hers and her name on all of yours. Not only that, I haven't even told you this. Kate, who I work with in the office, knows this, but you don't know this. I keep texting the wrong Kate.
Oh, no, I have, yeah.
So, like, I keep trying to message you, and I'll text the other Kate, and I'll be like, man, it's so weird she hasn't replied about anything yet. And then I realize I'd messaged the wrong Kate.
The panic I had was when
the other day.
Yeah, I was out for coffee with another friend, and I get this text saying, hey, like, I'm almost there. And I was like, Ash, are we meant to catch up?
Like, are we meant to be catching up today?
And like, I try not to double book, but sometimes it happens.
So then poor Kate, this Kate, I was like, I'm so sorry for giving you the panic of your life this morning.
I was like, how did I do that? Like, what have I done?
No,
anyway,
it was just me texting the wrong Kate. And also, I think it's when I use like my hands free, and I'd be like, hey, text Kate. And then I've in my phone, I know it sounds silly because I hate this when people do this to me. You know, when you put people's names in your phone, but then you put where you know them from.
I do that.
So you might be like, Sarah from church, or like, whatever.
From work,
yeah, so-and-so from work. All of my people from the light, and I think particularly with work, you end up having a lot of names of people that like, but then you've obviously got a work friend and a colleague with that name. Yeah. So everyone has their first name, and then in the little details part, it says the light.
Yeah, smart.
So
system works?
No, system doesn't work. System does not work because I think it must be like an optional nickname. So when I say Kate, it just goes to whatever one it feels like. And I honestly think my phone is failing me. I've called so many wrong people from saying, hey, call. Like one of our friends' names is Keely.
Yes.
And I have accidentally called another Keely that I have in my phone from like high school multiple times. And I know, but the funniest thing is, when you put like an emoji on someone's name, when I'm trying to call my friend Keely, I had to change it the other day, but I have to say Keely Green Fern because I put a little green fern next to her name. So I'd be like, call Keely Green Fern.
Yes, I have to do that with my friend too. Her name's Bree. But I can't just say, hey, call Bree. I have to spell out her name.
Yes.
It just doesn't know.
Or
we're in 2025.
Come on. Figure out the emoji is just for fun.
Yeah.
It's not an actual last name. Or like my sister, her name's Hannah, but in my phone her name's just Han with a white love heart. Yeah. So if I want to call my sister, I have to say, call Han White Heart.
So many words.
So many weird last names that are just because it's an emoji, but I love it. I'm so glad to have you back on the pod, Kate. You just bring so much wisdom and insight, and you have such a teaching gift, such a gift of sharing the word of God, explaining it well. And every single person, I actually met someone the other day that came up to me and they said that you said it in the first time you came on the podcast where you said the enemy's just playing to lose.
Yeah.
And I've had so many people come up to me and say that has changed their life.
Yeah.
Like hearing that, knowing that. And it's so true. Like when you understand it and you comprehend it and you look at your life and you go, okay, well, what is the enemy doing in my life where he's just wanting me to lose?
Yeah.
It helps so much.
It changed my life. When I feel like God kind of dropped it in my heart, I was like, oh my goodness.
Like it makes so much sense.
It makes so much sense.
You're smashing it.
We're going to start with Ephesians 2, verse 8 to 9. For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast.
What do you think when you first read this, Kate?
Oh, I think it's a huge, verse, like 2 verses, just jam-packed. I think the fact that it's a gift of God, like if you were to look at this as our salvation is a gift from God.
Yeah.
Like it's not something we can earn, which is good because I try to earn things. I try to like make sure I'm all perfect and have everything right. But the fact that you can just receive a gift.
Yeah.
Is so different.
I love that. And I also think it would have been a really countercultural thing. It is now. Like it is now in the sense of I think sometimes we still give ourselves like, okay, well my merit is attached to what I do. Like it's unfortunately just a part of our society. But even more so back in that day, it was very much about, what can you do? You need to prove yourself to the gods. You need to, this, do A, B, and C, follow this rule and whatever.
Like sacrificing.
Exactly right. And so I think to have this new perspective and this like solidification of who and like what God was actually doing, it's quite countercultural. And even in other faiths and other religions, like I watched this YouTube video the other day of it was like Christian people talking to people of other religions, and they were kind of having a back and forth and not arguing, but borderline argument. They're having a discussion about all of these things. And I think one of the things that really hit me is they were talking to someone from another religion, and they were saying like, do you know if you're going to heaven? Like, do you know if you're at the end of the day, you're going to be in eternity with Jesus? And all of these people were like, no, we don't. Like, I hope that I'm working enough. I hope that I've done enough to satisfy my God. Like, I hope I've, but at the end of the day, they were like, we don't actually know. And these Christian people were kind of like, did you know though, that when you know Jesus and when you give your life to Jesus, not that it's a reason to go and live your life and do whatever you want.
You can do everything now.
Yeah. But they were like, we know where we're going to go. They were like, we know where our future is. We know where our eternity is because we know who Jesus is and we know what his promise is. And that's kind of what this verse is saying, right? It's like, we can't do anything. We can't have any, we can't even have like a pride. Like this is all from God.
Yes.
And what a beautiful thing to then as a Christian be able to go in all of that, because it's a gift, because I can't boast, because it's not about what I do, I know where I'm going and I know what Christ's heart is for me. And I think when I was watching the video, I saw the people from the other religions kind of go, like they didn't really have an answer to that because it's so true. Like what a gift and a blessing it is by God to know that we know that we know that our eternity is assured in him.
And that's the thing, like I love, the more that I get closer to God, the more that I'm like, man, you are just so different to the world. Like if my sister came up to me and she has in the past and like given me food, like made me food, I'm so sus. I'm like, what do you mean you're just giving me food? Like what's the trick? Like what's the catch?
What do you want from me?
Yeah, literally. It's like, what have you done wrong? Like what shirt have you ruined? Yeah. But I love the fact that God is so incredibly loving and knows that we're human and stuff, but he wants to make it as simple as possible, as easy, as accessible, as like he did all the hard work, as in Jesus dying on the cross was the hard work, and now it's like, hey, now I'm giving it to you. And I don't know about you, I make it so much harder.
So
true. Like, no, but if I just like get myself sorted first, then I'll deserve it. And like I can never deserve it. I can never earn it. And I love that.
And I actually think there's something really safe and satisfying in that. I think a lot of people look at Christianity or faith and they go, there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of things you got to do, whatever, right? But when you're in it and you understand God's heart for you, the freedoms that is in that is so much greater than not having to make decisions that are going to honor you, bless you, keep you close to God. Like, it's pretty incredible what God does through that.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that there's a verse that says, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And I think just to give that illustration of the bar and the qualifying mark is literally while we're still sinners, which is so great. Because like we're all sinners, you know, every single one of us have sinned in some way, but Jesus, which is just insane. But it's that thing of, that's the qualifying mark. And I think so often we can just become in this mindset of, oh, I'm disqualified from God's love. I'm disqualified from having a relationship with him because A, B, and C. And honestly, the enemy will keep us trapped there of being like, you are the worst. Like, remember that thing you did? Like, that's so bad. As in, like, when I came back to God, I was still smoking and drinking and sleeping around and all of that. And I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do, but I'm saying that I met God's grace and love and started a relationship in the midst of it all.
And over time
he worked on it. And like, you know, now I don't smoke and all of that. Like, my life is completely transformed, but it actually started with the realization that he did everything for me on that cross. And what type of love am I about to encounter with that as the realization of, like, Jesus went to the cross just to be in relationship with me. That is wild, wild, and so beautiful. And that's the type of God that I want to get to know. Like, that draws me closer to him. You know, it's not like if I had to fix everything, I'd probably feel like he's kind of my boss. So I was like trying to get everything right for him, or like make sure everything was fine. But when it's so relational of, I'm coming to him exactly as I am, and not be like, I'll wait 3 Sundays for the old call so I can make sure that my finances are right first, or I'm gonna wait, you know, a month until that next church event and then I'll give my life in that moment because I have to sort things out. It's like anytime, anywhere, it's accessible because God already did it. Jesus already did it.
And he's gone before us and he knows. And I think you're so right. It's making sure that we know that although God will change us when we come into relationship with him, that salvation moment and that gift and that moment of going, I know who you are, God, like, we are all invited into that. And I think it just shows me how kind God is. I also think, you know, God's not trying to trip us up. He's not trying to go, okay, well, let me find a way to like get Kate to do something wrong, or or, you know, let me just put all these rules and these things in here so that, you know, I can make sure that only like the, you know, elite of the elite like know me. The thing is, yes, it takes discipline. Yes, it's a life of drawing closer to God. Yes, it's a life of being sanctified, which basically just means like becoming more like Jesus. But that gift is from God. There is nothing we can do. There is no work, no nothing that gives that gift of salvation. It is done like that in such a beautiful, deliberate way so that we cannot boast. So that we cannot go, well, and you know, it's so easy to do that. I think it, particularly once you've been a Christian for a while, sometimes you become a boaster. Sometimes you go, well, I'm not as bad as them. Or you go, well, I haven't done that. And I've talked about on the podcast before, like, I've had moments of that where the Lord has humbled me. But we are all on the same playing field when it comes to our relationship with God. We are all given the equality. We're all given the closeness because of him, not because of what we do, not because of who we are, but because he sent Jesus to die on a cross for our sin. And that is the only reason why. And it's actually the most joyous, safe thing to know that you don't have to strive. No. Yes, we're called to live like him. Yes, we're called to step out of sin. Yes, we're called to do all of these things. But it's not because we can figure it all out. No. It's only because of Jesus.
Exactly. And I think I love the fact that it also helps me, I think, have a heart for people as well, because again, it like that whole thing of it doesn't put some people in this basket of, oh well, they deserve God's love and, you know, salvation, and other people probably don't. Like,
Totally.
the man on the cross next to Jesus believes and has faith that he is like Jesus and the Messiah and like the Son of God on the cross, like in his last moments, and Jesus is like, hey, I'm gonna see you later down to heaven. As in, I think it's just that thing of, again, we've all had different lives, different upbringings, different whatever, but there's no starting mark for each of us with this, of like, it is just by faith, which means it's accessible to everyone, but it also gives us kind of a responsibility. Like, wow, it's my faith, like I can choose. It's not because of my life circumstances, if they've been really bad, if they've been great or whatever, like it's just a heart thing. Like faith comes from the heart, but it's stirred by what Jesus did for us on the cross.
So good, Kate. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the podcast. I hope that it encouraged you, that it's helped you through, and that it helps to challenge you through the season of life that you're facing, uplift you if you're feeling down, and most of all, I pray that you're able to draw closer and closer to God. I'm so excited to keep diving into the Word of God with you. I pray you're able to find moments of joy.